Hello and welcome to Adobe Photoshop lectures, and this is lecture 1. If you haven't seen Adobe Photoshop 2021 free download, the link would be in the description box below. So now let's get started with lecture 1. So when you open your Adobe Photoshop 2021, this page will appear. So you have two options: to open an image or create a new document. Opening image, you can double click here, and this will open the Windows one. And it would be a little bit different in the MacBook. Okay, and you can select images, or you can even select multiple images to open at once. So you can hold Ctrl on Windows or command key on Mac. Okay, and then click on each images, and then release the hold, and then click on open. So it will be and so the image will be open in their each separate working place. And for opening a new document, you can go to the top left corner and go to files, and then click on new, and this new document page will appear. So we have many different categories: photo, print, art, web, mobile, film. I'm just gonna choose photo for now. So we have the default Photoshop size, and we have landscape in many different sizes, or portrait in many different sizes, and you can even create a custom one, like with the custom width, the height, resolution, and many other things. You can even change it from inches to pixels, centimeter, millimeter, points. Okay, so now I'm just gonna choose the default Adobe Photoshop size, and then click on Create New. Create. Okay, and then it will create a blank page where you can work with your photos. So now let's get comfortable with the working space. I'm just gonna choose these images, and as you can see on the right side, we have the color panel. We have many different panels. So we have the squash panel, which is the color panel, and we have many different colors like the pale colors, the darker color, the dark color, the pure colors, the light colors, and many different colors. So these colors would be used in the the brush tool and many other tools which we will discuss in this video. So now let's see this green color. So we have different colors like the blue, dark blue. So this is the history of color. If you want to quickly change to other colors without scrolling down, so this is the history, the color you have used. I'm just gonna use the red one for now. So on the left side we have the tool panel. So tools are the things you need to edit a photo. Okay, so now like we have this move tool for moving an image, and we these are not the maximum amount of tools. So you can see some tools are behind others like this. If you hold left click on this, so we have the horizontal and the vertical typing tools. So if you don't want to write horizontally, you can write vertically. It's totally up to you. So I'm just gonna leave it right over here for now. And as you can see, we have the option bar above here. The option bar changes according to the tool you are using. So we have the font, the size, and many other things, even the color change. So keep the eye on the option tool, and as I'm changing to brush tool. So as you can see, we have different um, like the flow, smoothness, and many other things. Okay, so you can even change the size right over here. I will just make it a little bit bigger, and you can even change the hardness. So it'd be, and now let's just use the paint tool right over here. So as you can see earlier, we choose this color, the red color, so it's right over here. This is used for the brush tool panel. And if you want to undo this, you can just press Ctrl plus Z or Command plus Z on Mac, and it will undo it. Okay, and this even changes to when you change to other tools. So now let's get to zooming in and zooming out. For zooming in an image and work on its details, you can just click on the zoom in tool, and then you can click to zoom in by each. When you zoom in, click. Okay, so and for zooming out, you can go to the top left, and just click on zooming out, which is this icon, and then you can zoom out. Okay, and for fitting the image on your screen, you can just go and click here, fit screen, and this will fit the whole image in this screen, in this area, okay? And if you want to zoom in back, you have to go over to the top left and then click on the zoom in again, okay? And zoom in. And that's just gonna fit it for now. And this is the 100%, okay? So it will be different in each screen size, okay? So now let's get zoom in now. Let's zoom in for now. And when you're zooming and working on the detail and changing colors and using the brush tool, you can even move around, like go to that tools panel and then you have this moving tool, okay? So now you can move wherever you want to work with, okay? So I'm just gonna go back to zoom in, zoom out tool and go to fit screen. If you want to zoom out, you can use the zoom out or just fit screen. And if you just want to zoom in continuously, you can just go to zoom in one and just hold the left click. So it will zoom in so much that you can even see the pixels, which are the building block of images in Adobe Photoshop. And you can just zoom out or fit screen. Okay, so as like let's zoom in, and like if you're zooming in and zooming out too many times, there's an easy way, like you can use the alt key in Windows, and it will just change it to the zoom out one, and you can zoom out, and when you release the whole, you can zoom in again, okay, and hold, and it will change to zoom out one, okay. So now, for example, let's go to the brush tool, and you're brushing. If you're painting someone and you want to zoom out, and you don't want to go to zoom to the zoom in and zoom out tool, you can just hold Ctrl on PC and Command on the Mac, and hold that, and then press plus. It will zoom in, and then if you want to zoom out, press minus. So it will zoom out. So this is how to zoom in and zoom out in Adobe Photoshop. So now let's use some commands and let's change to this photo, like for example, and let's use the brush tool, and then let's print some red right over here and change it to yellow, like for example, and do it right over here, and this dark green right over here, and this pink right over here. Okay. So if you want to undo, you can just go to this edit to the top menu, and then you can toggle the last edge, it will do the last brush you have used. And if you click, it will remove the last one you have used. And if you go back and toggle the last edge, it will bring it back. Okay. And if you want to undo multiple times, and you can just go undo brush tool, and then click on undo brush tool, click on undo brush tool, and click on undo brush tool. So it will do all undo. For redoing it, you can do redo brush tool, and then click on redo brush tool again and again and again until you have everything. Okay, so now on this panel we have the history tool, and if it's showing for you, you can go to the Windows panel, Windows menu right over here, and go to history and click on it. If it shows checkmark, then you have it. Okay, so I already have it, so it's showing the checkmark here. Okay, so now let's use the history tool, history panel. So history panel is used, it's recording your history. Okay, so now let's click here. This is the first red one you draw, okay? So it will only show this one, and for this is the second time you draw, okay, and this is the third time, and this is the fourth, okay? And it's showing that you use the brush tool. Now let's use the different tool, which is the toggle tool, okay? And this will make your thing lighter. Now let's make it a little bit bigger. Yeah, this is perfect, and you can see the lead will become lighter. And if I do it again, it's showing you toggle to double time, and when I go back one, and it will show it's a little bit dark, and when I go to brush tool, it will be more dark. Okay, so when like you have chosen this brush tool, okay, and I'm just want to use the toggle tool right over here, so it will remove the others. Okay, it's like you are using it, and it will remove the forward thing you have done. Okay, so this is the history panel, okay, and now let's get how to save your work, okay. So you can go to the files, I mean, yes, you can go to the files and you can do save. The save will replace the last image you have, okay, like I take this from my PC, so it will replace the last picture. Okay, so you don't want, that's not very efficient, you want it to be a new photo. Okay, so now let's go back to files and then click on save as. Okay, so now it's will save as a new photo. Okay, you can choose it as a GPG if you want to share this photo with others if they don't have Photoshop, and you can do it as a Photoshop document, which is gonna save the history and the brush tool you have done. I'm just gonna do it for the GPG when you have completed your thing. Okay, so now let's click on save, and it will show this GPG option. So you want it to keep on default because this is the best for you. Can I don't recommend you to change any this quality or other things. Okay, and now click on OK. Okay, that's gonna save everything, and it's gonna save it. You can see right over here, save it. Okay, and now for you can see the top menus right over here. Okay, so you have the files, edit, image, layers, type, select, filter, 3D view, windows, another. Okay, let's check the files one. As you can see, we can close everything, like close this working areas. Okay, if I click on close all, so it will gonna close all. Okay, so we have these recents which we have done in recently. Okay, and this is for lecture 1. See you in lecture 2. Goodbye.